Monarch Media covering one of the most anticipated days in recent Old Dominion University athletic history. I'm Ted Alexander with Director of Athletics, Dr. Wood-Selig. Quality over quantity. Talk about your reaction to the proposal for the rebirth of Foreman Field at SB Ballard Stadium.
Yeah, we did sent out 60,000 surveys. We had 5,000 responses. We had 1,300 open-ended responses, and the message was loud and clear. The demand for new seats was not as great as probably people in the general public think it might be, but the request for quality seating, quality concessions, of more variety in the concessions, more restrooms, better accessibility, keep the game day atmosphere, keep the tailgating atmosphere the same, stay on the current location. Those messages came through loud and clear, and I think what we've done with phase one of the rebirth of Foreman Field addresses all of those requests and concerns of both our current fans as well as our future fans.
Another huge concern was protecting student fees. No increase to student fees. How big a deal is that in this proposal?
I don't know if our Board of Visitors would have approved a plan that required an increase in student fees. So I think it was absolutely critical that we were fiscally responsible and we protected our students in that regard and didn't propose a rebirth of a stadium or a new stadium on the waterfront that would be financed on the backs of our students.
When you think about the trends in this day and age, it is toward quality over quantity, isn't it, in terms of taking care of the folks that are at the party?
It is, and the fact that we will have 15,500 chair-back seats on both east and west sides that are going to be rebuilt. They're going to be elevated stands. They're going to be deep rows where plenty of leg room is available, armrests, chairbacks. They're going to be angled so that when you hit the 30, 35-yard line, you start to go back toward the field and have a better sight line so you're not looking across your body. So I think the whole concept is designed for the quality experience of our spectators.
You've taken a look at what other league members have done and are doing. Where does this plan stack up against the rest of Conference USA?
Yeah, I think this by far is going to be the superior football venue in Conference USA, and ultimately when we complete the 30,000 four-seat rebirth of Foreman Field, I think it's going to be one of the nicest in the country. With a mid-size stadium feel. It's not going to have 100,000. It's not going to be, Alabama or Michigan, but they don't have chairbacks as far as I'm aware of. So it's going to be a real quality facility that people are going to enjoy coming to. It's going to be one of those destination venues that you look forward when you wake up in the morning. You're excited about going to Foreman Field.
To finally have this information out, how big a deal is it?
We've waited a long time for this announcement, but I think we've been prudent, we've been smart, we've been thoughtful in our analysis, and we had to get it right. We talked about that for a long time. You only get one chance to make this decision, and we had to make the right decision for so many different constituencies. So I think we've nailed it on all fronts.
The adventure continues. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted.
That's Dr. Wood-Selig, Director of Athletics here at Old Dominion University. Big day here at ODU. Huge day for the program. React.
Unbelievable. Just the excitement with what's happening, Ted. I mean, we knew this was coming. We knew this day was coming, but now it's here. And you see what it looks like. You gauge the reaction from everybody. Just a historic day for Old Dominion University and our football program.
Top of the line of the presentation was quality over quantity. Talk about that.
Yeah, that was always the key. I felt that was the most important thing. I think President Broderick and the entire team that worked on this, it basically listened to the fans. There were 60,000 surveys sent out. The responses were, hey, can we have a comfortable seat? Can we get to the restrooms and concessions and not miss the action of the game? And that was critical, Ted. We needed to listen to our fan base. We're the only team in the history of college football that sold out every home game we've ever played. They deserved to be listened to, and we heard them loud and clear.
You've also heard about the desire to keep student fees in check, the need to keep student fees in check. How big a deal was that this proposal does just that?
That was the number one most important thing to all of us. You're talking about a $55 million initial phase, and I can't emphasize that enough. This is the initial phase, but $55 million without an increase to student fees, that's unheard of. I mean, I don't know of anybody else who's done that around the country, and that was critical. It was important to the project, and it was important for everybody to understand, especially me saying this as the head coach. We're an institution of higher learning. That's the most important thing that goes on here, and respecting the students was critical.
When it comes to new student athletes, recruiting, how will this effort help?
Ted, this will not have a major impact directly on our players or the incoming student athletes. And the reason I can say that and say it proudly is because we already have one of the best atmospheres in the country. We clearly have the best atmosphere in Conference USA. As you know, we're the only team in the history of college football to sell out every home game we've ever played. So the venue's packed, it's loud, the kids see that when the recruits come on campus and they're walking through all the tailgates, and then they're down on the field before the game and they're in the stands. They feel that energy, and our players feel it. So our players will be happy that their parents and all the fans will have a better venue to be at, but all they want is a loud, rocking atmosphere. That's what they care about.
You got a chance to look at the plan previous to the meeting today. Mm-hmm. Your first reaction was, you told me you were pretty pumped up about this.
Yeah, it was wow. I'm an excitable guy, as you well know, and I was excited when I saw the plan, particularly, Ted, and I hope everybody understands this. This is a phased plan. This is just step one. This isn't the complete plan. Eventually, we're going to get to 30,000, and there's going to be even more bells and whistles and amenities there's going to be such a wow factor. And I've always felt, Ted, when it comes to our donors and supporters, when we go to them and say, hey, we need help because we're doing this, they respond. And the example I'll give you is when we went around in the spring of 2012, when we were making the move to Conference USA, and President Broderick said, okay, show me. Show me that the fans want this. And we went out and within a couple weeks got over $3 million in support. And this wasn't anything they could touch. This was a title, FBS Conference USA. Well, now you're talking about a stadium that physically our fans and donors can touch. And when 2009, when we open and they can see it, and then they can envision the next parts of the phase and what's going to happen, they're going to be even more excited with that. So I think this project is just going to gain momentum from today moving forward.
Coach, big day. Appreciate the time.
Historic day. Thanks, Ted.
That's head football coach Bobby Wilder. The rebirth of Foreman Field at SV Ballard Stadium made official the announcement for the plans today. I'm Ted Alexander for Monarch Media.